What's up, everybody? I figured in the middle of my little V workshop here, I should stop and we should talk about his cane. Is it clutch? Is it absolutely necessary? Do you have to have that damn cane? Is this a throwaway character if you cannot get the paid item for him? Okay, because I've talked to a couple people that they're under that impression that, like, if you don't have that cane for V, you're never going to use him because he's kind of going to be worthless. And it's easy to think that because of how much the cane does, right? It literally just gives him a chance to status with pretty much every single one of the statuses. It gives him a small chance to blind, stun, poison. It's a small chance, but it adds up because this guy's basic attack is just off the chain. And it's very, very spammable. So you're getting high hits and, a lot of hits with a very small chance. You want things to proc. So that's what we're going to look at. Can we actually get anything to proc off of this guy without V's cane? Now, I only have 83 out of 104 abilities unlocked. That shouldn't matter for this because I have all of his abilities unlocked that actually give him a chance to status. So I have all that unlocked. As far as his equipment goes, we put the flash cannon on him, the Bartess. This is because we're going to go back into the Zugless fight. That way you guys kind of have a frame of reference, okay? This is going to do damage to Zuggy because it's light element, and that way we're not fighting him all day. But what we're going to be paying attention to is status. Can we status Zuggy? Okay, because if you guys watch my other vid looking at V that I just put out not too long ago, Zugless pretty much starts the fight statused. He started off paralyzed, stunned, had a bunch of stuff going on. And let's compare. Let's see how he does. So we do have just a gun on him. It's not even giving him that much to his stats. Let's go in here and pay a visit to Zuggy. And let's see how fast we can status this fool, because that is going to be pretty important for this character. Another thing is too, remember, you're going to be running him with other characters. You also have magic to fall back on to get status on people. But for now, we're just going to concentrate on his basic attack and his skill kit, right? Doesn't matter where that status comes from, if it comes from your basic attack or your S1. So here we go. Zugless is already on the move. Not a good sign. In my other video, he started off stunned. We have not been able to get any status on him so far. Can we get something out of the kit? Yeah, we did right there. Zuggy's status right now. The S2 paid off. Anything off the S3? Nope. Zugless' headache is wearing down. So he is status right now. He has illness. So we did get a status on him. That's really all that matters because that's what's going to proc all of your damage, right? This character specializes in dealing more damage to somebody as long as they have a status on them. Would it be better if I had 3 statuses on Zugless? Of course. Of course it'd be better if he was also poisoned and blind and couldn't hit my party. But the point is, we're still able to get statuses on Zuggy, even without his amazing cane. And remember, this guy is built like a caster, right? I'm working on getting Venomous Rainfall for him right now because then you can just cast a couple spells and you can get your status on your enemy that way. And you'll also be taking advantage of this guy's monster intelligence score. I mean, what can I say? The dude's a poet. In fact, he even has a book. But as far as basic attacks go, yes, you would much rather have him with the cane. Without the cane, guys, it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. I still think you're going to be able to use him effectively. Hey, worst case scenario, you might go into a boss fight that you're trying to status, and you might not status him on the first try as quickly as you would like. You might have to rerun something. He is still cheesable material. I still think this guy is going to help you clear all sorts of things that you would have a hard time with just because of the statuses that he can do. And they appear to be pretty good off of his kit. So, I guess that's the final word on that. Do you need his cane? Is it an absolute necessity? No. You can find a way around it. Look at Loga's weapons. Loga's weapons, I don't think they actually status all that much. They just help Loga do more damage to something that's statused, and they increase the amount of time that the status break lasts on the enemy. So Loga does have a bunch of statuses in his skill kit, but so does this guy. So, if you don't have the cane, if you can't get it, you can just use his kit and play him smart, right? You're still going to be able to get some statuses off, and it's going to jack his damage up through the roof. And remember, guys, there's spells. There's a ton of spells. I've been saying this guy is just an empty magic platform. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. But I did want to talk about his cane. Is it absolutely clutch? No, but it is super nice to have. It would be the #1 item from this whole collab. Right? If you pulled all 3 of these characters and you only had enough for one of their items, I would have to say V's cane would be your best bet if you want to get the most bang for your buck. Unless you're not planning on running V. Maybe you absolutely love Dante as a character and you want to run him and you know you're going to be running that character. Okay, well, then get the weapon for him. What I'm saying is his weapon's going to be easier to swap out. It's going to be easier to get Dante some badass 6 sword with super high stats on it. It's going to be almost impossible to match V's cane. I don't see any other canes with status on there. I just went through my whole profile. I checked my inventory. Hey, maybe there's something, some item for sale out in the world that I just didn't get because I wasn't really thinking too much about status at the time. But getting a different weapon for V, one that actually has status, is probably not going to happen right now unless they release something else. But hey, this guy can get status off from his kit. Right? And then you can also add statuses to him. You're going to have the SC to do that. And remember, there's also magic. There's tons and tons of magic. Venomous Rainfall being one of them. Right? So that's what I'm on to now. I'm going to be testing all that stuff out. And actually, this guy is a sniper class. Which I still think it's kind of weird that he's a sniper class. I really thought he was going to be a sorcerer. The reason I even bring that up is because I'm pretty sure those classes actually affect your damage formula. They affect the source that your damage is coming from, whether you're using intelligence or strength to do damage. I was pretty sure. I've had people say things about it both ways, that's not true and that is true, that some classes use some intelligence and some attack. Other classes just use attack, like Soldier. Soldier would just use attack as your primary stat for damage calculation, and sorcerers apparently are supposed to use intelligence. So I don't know where that leaves sniper. This is just what I've heard. I have not been able to confirm any of this yet. I should have a while ago, but I've just been busy. So if anybody has any input on that, please let me know, because it is going to affect this character a lot, how you build him, whether he's using intelligence or strength. He's obviously geared towards using intelligence. He even has an ability that lets him use his intelligence modifier for his basic attacks. Thundergabunda something. Thunder something. I forget exactly what it is, but he has that built in. So yeah, guys, if you got any insight on that, please let me know. It might save me a lot of time on running this character and stuff like that, but I at least wanted to address the issue of his weapon. It's a very important one, and it is the #1 weapon in the shop right now. It just does so much, and let's not forget the stats on it. The thing's almost got like 200 stat, so very gnarly. specifically for him. And hey, what if you plan on running this guy with Loga? Well, then Loga's going to status everybody, and this guy's still going to get to bank off of that. So there's a bunch of different ways to go about it. So I wanted to put something out because I know a lot of people are worried about his weapon. I've had a lot of people ask me how many pulls do I have to do? How much is that going to cost me exactly? And rightfully so, because people see exactly how much this dude's cane brings to the game, and yeah, it is the number one Devil May Cry item that people should be looking at if they plan on running this character. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I personally think every single account should have a status character on it, because if you don't, there's going to be bosses and there's going to be things that are going to be very hard for you to clear, because you're just going to have to clear it the old-fashioned way, where everybody else is just going to be able to status the hell out of that boss and just break it down and kill it. So I've always said this, this is why Loga is in a tier of his own. Well, Loga's no longer the only one there. This is kind of like the limited Loga that we got going here. Leave it to Last Cloudia to take a character that, in my opinion, is kind of like a minor character and just make him batshit crazy powerful. That is like literally what they did here. Like I said in my other vid, I didn't even exactly remember where V was in the game until I actually saw his S4 pop up, and I remembered, laying there in the living room as a little kid playing these games, and yeah, V was there. V was there. He was talking to Dante and wanted his help to kill one of the devils. I remember something or another, but V was definitely there, but I didn't really think he was like really a main character. I just kind of thought he was a side character. So you know what, hats off to them. I think that's pretty cool that they're taking characters like that and just making them just batshit crazy powerful. I do think it's awesome. So I'm gonna get back to it. Still have a lot of stuff to look over. Everyone's input would be very helpful, so you guys let me know and leave a comment. Have a good day, everybody.